Hello and welcome to DFS Coach Talk. I am your host, Josh Davis, also known as Crash, and I am joined by the one and only Deb Lutz, also known as Deluxe. So, Deb, how are you doing today?
I'm doing awesome. I am super excited. You and I haven't done a pod, just the two of us, I think, since last basketball season. So
Yeah,
this should be a lot of fun.
definitely should be a lot of fun. If you're new to the channel, if you would, give us a like and hit the subscribe button, and then make sure you hit the alarm bell. That will let you know when our newest podcast has been recorded and gone live. So definitely want to make sure you hit that subscribe button. So, Deb, we've got an 11-game slate today, so a lot to go over. Anything you want to add before we get into it?
No, just I hope Coach is watching us, and he's going to be impressed with what we're bringing the members today. We've learned a lot from Coach.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think we've got a lot to offer today. So the first game that we have on the table here is between the San Antonio Spurs and the Indiana Pacers. It's at 7:00 Eastern. The Pacers are favored by 2.5, and the over/under is 232.5. So pretty high over/under, probably higher than I would have expected for these two teams. So who is your favorite play from this game, or do you have anyone you like in this game?
Yeah, this game's not a bad game. It's DeRozan has been, he was on fire in the first game, and without Levine in, I expect him to have another really good game. I don't really value the Wizards defense all that much. So I'm definitely eyeing him where I can fit him in. He's a bit pricey, particularly on Fanduel, but I like him a lot. I also like the big man there in Vukovic. I think he's very fairly priced. Vukovic is one of those guys, particularly for cash games. You feel like he kind of is in that like 38 to 45 DK points night in, night out. And if you can get a 5X value, 5X plus 5, which is what it would look like on DK, he's a nice value. So those are a couple of guys I'm eyeing. DeSumo, he's definitely going to get the minutes. Had a great game his last game out. I do respect Monty Morris' defense, who's going to be the starter over on the Wizards, and I'm just not that sure that DeSumo is going to be consistent this year. And then over on the Wizards, Kuzma. He's like a new person on this team, and had a huge game. Again, last game out. Also fairly priced. I'm not sure if I'm going to get to him, but wouldn't blame you if you did go after him. But a little more excited about the Bulls than the Wizards side tonight.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm not sure where we got lost in translation there, but I was actually saying that this was going to be the Spurs and the Pacers. We may have a different schedule that we're looking at, but that's okay. We'll just roll with it.
We'll roll with it. We're starting with our first game.
Yeah.
All right.
It's all good. So
cool.
The Bulls and the Wizards, like you said, DeMar DeRozan was outstanding on Wednesday night. He had 37 points on 14 of 22 shooting, 6 rebounds, a block, and 2 steals for 64.5 Draftkings points and 65.7 on Fanduel. So, a monster night for DeRozan. I like him as well. Like you said, Monty Morris is a good defender, and I think he's a decent value play too because he's only 4,900 on Fanduel, so pretty decent price over there. Now we will go over to the
San Antonio game, which is a little more interesting game to me, actually.
Yeah,
I like this. I do like this game a lot. I think to your point, I think you did say actually you were surprised how high it was.
The over under.
Yeah, we're gonna have to look at. I haven't pulled up pace yet, but pace is obviously key here, and I think I think both these teams go at a pretty decent pace.
Right.
So I think that's part of the scoring here. But I think what's interesting about this game is for as high a scoring game as it's going to be, these players are priced really pretty cheaply. So, you can look at Devin Vassell, who did not have a good night, his first night out. big expectations for him. He's at only 5-1 on DK. Trey Jones, similarly, starting point guard, had a really good end of last season. He's at 4-9. So you can get, the two of those guys at basically 5K. And even Pirtle at 6.2K. He's going to be real solid this year. Put up good numbers. So I like those guys in particular on San Antonio. I will be getting at least one in my lineup, if not two. And on the Pacers, I'm a big fan of Halliburton. I think he just does it all. He's the leader on this team. Even though his price is creeping up there a bit, he's still not at the same level as some of the higher priced guys. So I'll be going to him probably across the board. I know Coach picked Hield last time. I can't stand Buddy Hield, but on FanDuel, he's at a fair price point and he's getting a lot of shots up. And then Jalen Smith. I mean, he's pretty inexpensive. And if he's the starting center, which I think they're predicting to start as power forward. But I like him in this game as well.
Yeah. Would you believe that Devin Vassell is projected to be the highest owned player again?
Man.
That's crazy.
All right. So people believe it's going to happen at some point.
2 nights in a row that he would be, or two games in a row where he was playing, where he would be the highest projected owned player. And that's just wild. Yeah.
Half the players didn't know who he was last year.
I know. And now he's the highest projected owned player. And then Jacob Pirtle's right behind him. So there you go.
Really?
So the two
Okay.
Spurs, and Keldon Johnson's 4. So people must really be targeting this game.
Yeah. Well, I guess between the high scoring and the low pricing. Yeah. So for GPPs, I'm gonna, stay a little bit away from some of these higher end guys, but I do like this game overall.
Yeah. I like it too. I like Halliburton on the Pacers. It's a really good fit for him. When he moved from Sacramento to Indiana, I think that was a great move for his career. And I do like Vassell. I mean, he is high owned, so I don't know how much I'll get to him in a GPP, but in cash and single entry, I think I'll definitely have some of Vassell. The third game tonight is the New Orleans Pelicans and the Charlotte Hornets. It is also at 7 p.m. Eastern. The Pelicans are favored by 6.5. It has a 228.5 over under. Who do you like in this game, Deb?
Why don't you start in this one? Since I don't want to steal. Yeah, let's hear who some of your picks are.
Well, I like on the Pelicans, of course, their top 2 is CJ McCollum and Brandon Ingram. I mean, those are 2 obvious plays. They're really not priced as high as they were last year. McCollum 7,300 on Draftkings, 7,600 on Fanduel, and 35 on Yahoo. And then Ingram is not bad either. He's 8,000 on Draftkings, but he's below 8 on Fanduel at 7,800, and he's only 33 on Yahoo. So he's actually a little bit cheaper than McCollum on Yahoo. So I like those 2 a lot from the Pelicans. On the Hornets side, I like Terry Rozier. As long as LaMelo Ball's out, I think that he's going to be a good play pretty much every night, unless they have a real tough matchup defensively. And that's probably about it for me in this game. It's not like my favorite game. So
okay. Yeah, pretty high scoring as well, particularly on the Pelican side. I'm totally with you on Ingram. I think Ingram is really underpriced right now. He's been playing great ball, from the playoffs last season. I think the addition of Zion actually helps him because Zion's going to be taking up some of the focus offensively or defensively. I mean, Zion played great in his first game, but we'll see, is he going to be able to bring it every night? Is he going to get tired? He looks in great shape, but he's pretty highly priced. So I'm not going to be going with him tonight. But, over on the Charlotte side, I have a little love for Nick Richards.
Okay.
They at 4.1K, he had a great game in his first game, comes from a really smart, college program. And, I think guys who get into the NBA from these programs usually can hit the ground running. And, I kind of think he could be a little, sneaky low-owned play today. They definitely need some size. They need some size against the likes of Zion and Valanciunas. So I think he'll get some playing time.
Yeah, definitely. And it's interesting because they've moved Ingram to the 2 guard now. He was always either a 3 or a 4 before,
Yeah.
but now he's a shooting guard. He's listed as a shooting guard, and McCollum's been playing point guard. So
Yeah.
that's an interesting move there. So did what's his name? Alvarado. How do you say his name? I can't
Oh,
remember.
Jose Alvarado?
Alvarado. Yeah. Did he move on to somewhere else, or what's the deal with him?
No, he's still there. He's still on the bench. He only got 15 minutes in the last game. I mean, he's like a little spark plug, but I think
Yeah.
they see him more as off the bench versus in the starting
Mhm.
lineup.
Gotcha.
So,
Because he was starting last year, right, in the playoffs?
yeah, in the
Yeah,
playoffs, yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
so.
So, and I guess Devonte Graham is also still there, but
Yeah.
I don't even know how many minutes he got in the last game. But yeah, I mean, he's not the best. I think their best. I mean, they're putting their best lineup out there. McCollum at the point guard is interesting, but
It is very interesting. Yeah, so
yeah,
you said Devonte Graham, so this is a little bit of a revenge game for him, I guess, going up against the Hornets here. But yeah, he probably
yeah.
won't play
If he
that
gets
much.
in, right,
Yeah,
right.
exactly. All right, so the fourth game tonight, we have the Orlando Magic and the Atlanta Hawks. It starts at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. The Hawks are favored to win by 9. It has a 225 over/under. This game, it could blow out. I still like DeJounte Murray and Paolo Banchero. Do you like anyone in this game, or do you think that it's going to blow out?
I don't think it's going to blow out. I mean, I think early in the season, I mean, it is it was a 9-point spread. But Orlando, they've got a lot of young guys. I mean, I think they want to play well. I like, not for this game necessarily, but just as players, I like Wagner. I think Banchero is going to be. I mean, what did he have in his first game? He was the first rookie ever in their first game, other than LeBron James, to have 25, 5, and 5. So that's some impressive.
Yeah, he had almost 50 fantasy points in his first game. Unbelievable.
Yeah, unreal.
Yeah.
So, he's going to be a star. I think Jalen Suggs, I think people soured on him last year. He was injured a bit, didn't play real well, but I think he's going to be solid. And Wendell Carter Jr. has shown to be a good center in this league. So I think they've got some guys, so I don't think it'll be a blowout, but I think Atlanta's got a high powered offense. I'm going to take a look. I might throw a bonus lineup out there there's a 4-game slate, and I'd take a look at both Trae Young and DeJounte Murray. I think they're going to play off each other well throughout the year and both be high fantasy scorers.
Sure.
I also like DeAndre Hunter because his price point's so low. He's got a new big salary. He's starting. He's finally healthy. And, I wouldn't lose track of Okongwu. I think he's going to be the starter by the end of the year. And he's getting some minutes, and I like him. So he might be a real cheap punt play for me at center if I need it.
Yeah, I like that too. I think he'll definitely take away from Capella throughout the course of the year. Capella's still starting at this point, but I don't think he will be too much longer. Do you think they might even move him? I would think at some point in the year they might move Capella.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he went to, a contender who needed a big man.
Yeah. All right, so the next game is the Boston Celtics and the Miami Heat. It starts at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Boston is favored by 2.5. It has, I think, the lowest over/under total of the night at 218.5. I expect this to be a really good game to watch, but from a DFS standpoint, I don't really feel like this is going to be that great of a game. Anyone that you like in this game? I do like Malcolm Brogdon on the Celtics. He's 5,100 on Draftkings, 5,400 on Fanduel, and then Jimmy Butler on Miami. But that's about it for me in this game.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, we've got a replay of the intense playoff matchup, and good defenses. I see it being a bit of a grind game, and I do like Brogdon off the bench. He's still going to get enough minutes to produce. I'm not even Jimmy Butler with all the other guys going tonight. I'm not too excited unless he feels like he's got to exact some revenge for losing, but I don't think so. And Boy, I don't know why they keep starting Kyle Lowry. I think he's just, I'm a big fan of Kyle Lowry, but I think he's weighing him down. I don't think he's doing much of anything. So,
Yeah.
No, I'm not really doing anything other than like you, Brogdon. So,
yeah. All right. Next game is Toronto Raptors and Brooklyn Nets, 7:30 p.m. Eastern start time. The Nets are favored by 3, has a 227 over under. I currently don't have anyone from this game. Is there anyone in this game that you like?
let's see. Yeah, possibly Scotty Barnes. I like him a lot as a player, seems to do it all. He'll be low owned because of his price tag. That's probably it. I agree. Another good game to watch. It's going to be interesting to see if the Nets, the Nets lost a real disappointing one. So it's interesting to see if they can come out, play big. Ben Simmons was a huge disappointment. I don't know what he's going to do. And Kyrie, Kyrie's good for a lot of points against some of the weaker teams, but this is a really good defensive team, well coached. So I'm not really going with anyone on Brooklyn.
Yeah, I think on a smaller slate, we would definitely probably look at a player or two at least from this game. But on an 11-game slate, we just don't have to force it. So I don't want to. Next game, Detroit and New York. It's 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Knicks favored by 7.5 with a 219.5 over under. For me, again, not a whole lot that I like in this game. I do like Cam Reddish coming off the bench. He looked really good against the Grizzlies. He's 4,500 on Draftkings, 4,900 on Fanduel. He played 28 minutes, had 22 points, 5 rebounds, a block, and 3 steals. So the steals do kind of skew it a little bit, but I just thought he looked really good off the bench. So I think he's an up-and-coming player. Didn't really have much of an opportunity in Atlanta, so I think in New York he's going to develop. But the Pistons side, not much for me. What about for you?
Yeah, I think this is the lowest total on the slate. So not a up-tempo game for sure. Right. I like Jalen Brunson here. He's just starting out on the Knicks, big contract. He played great in his first game. I think he's going to really help this offense to go. He's reasonably priced. So he's someone that I'm going to be eyeing a bit. And, Julius Randle, I've got him on fantasy. He looked great. I think some of the pressure's off because he doesn't have to do everything on this team with Brunson there. So, So he's somebody that I'm looking at, and possibly Bojan. I mean, great game his first game, so he's got a nice role on this team. Got a ton of minutes.
Yeah,
he's sort of the veteran presence. I was pretty impressed, and I think the Knicks, and I'm not afraid of RJ Barrett defense. So I think they're a team that he could do well against, and if he's in a bit of a groove, he could be again low owned.
Yeah, definitely. Next game, different story. Memphis at Houston, 8 p.m. Eastern. Grizzlies favored by 7, over under 232.5. So it ties San Antonio and Indiana for the highest over under on the slate. I like 3 Grizzlies, and I like running it back with Kevin Porter Jr. on the other side. So Ja Morant, of course, up top. Santi Aldama looked really good. And then John Conchar, as long as I just went blank. Who's out for them right now? Bane.
Dylan Brooks.
Yeah, not Bane, but Brooks. As long as Brooks is out, I think Conchar's a nice value play. So Morant, Aldama, Conchar on the Grizzlies, and then Kevin Porter Jr. for me on the Rockets.
I am with you. I was actually pretty surprised that from an ownership standpoint, all of Morant, Aldama, and Conchar are below 10% ownership. And given how inexpensive Aldama and Conchar are and how fast-paced of a game this is, I like them a lot. So I'm right there with you. Yeah.
Houston's not a good defensive team either. So
exactly.
Yeah, crazy.
I'm tempted by Sengun only because I think he's great. And I think people are seeing that he's not starting, and I think
Right.
might be splitting time with Fernando. I mean, I couldn't believe Bruno Fernando has like a 13% ownership percentage, and Sanguin has like a 1%. So again, as a GPP, I'll be putting out the GPP lineups tonight. I'm sort of tempted by him because it's pretty contrarian, but we'll see. I've got a few other center opportunities, including Aldama, who I think's got some game. So it may not happen, but it's someone I'm looking at.
Yeah, I was just looking to see what Sengun's ownership was looking like. Looked like 1%.
Exactly. It's crazy, right? I mean, that's so it would definitely be a nice little contrarian play for a guy. I think he's got some big upside.
Yeah, definitely. All right, the next game is the Utah Jazz and the Minnesota Timberwolves. 8 p.m. Eastern. Timberwolves favored by 8, has a 227.5 over under. We have the revenge game here for Rudy Gobert, who looked outstanding in his first game this year. I do like Gobert against his old team. He's 8,600 on Fanduel. I like that a little bit more than the 9,000 he is on Draftkings, and he's 34 on Yahoo. So decent price. I also like on the other side, I like Jared Vanderbilt coming back to Minnesota. I think that's a decent value play. And then as well as on Minnesota, McDaniels, he's only 3,900 on DraftKings. He's 5,200 on FanDuel, so I'm probably not going to get to him over there. But on DraftKings at 3,900, I like that value too. So what about for you in this game?
Yeah, pretty similar. I do agree with you. Rudy Gobert, I actually like revenge narratives. I know Coach isn't that into it, but I think, Gobert does have a little bit of a, kind of that sense of revenge. So I like it a lot. Jared Vanderbilt, he's going to get a ton of minutes. And I couldn't believe it. On FanDuel, he's 0.1% ownership. Now, he's 5,300, so it's not as cheap as he is on let's see what he is on DK.
He's 4,600 on DraftKings.
Yeah, and he's and ownership wise, but he's still only 3.5%. So I think that's really underowned. I do like him a lot. Again, revenge narrative, and he's they don't have a lot of options on that team. He's going to be getting all the rebounds.
Right.
So I do like him. I like Markin in general on this team now, but not tonight probably. And I'd say the other guy I'm looking at is Colin Sexton, who I think can go off at any time and score 35 points and pull down 5 rebounds, 5 assists. So I'm looking at him.
Yeah, he looked really good against Denver in that opener. He sure did.
Yeah, I couldn't believe they crushed Denver. Crazy.
Yeah, I know. With that lineup, with losing
Mitchell and Gobert, and Bogdanovic too.
Yeah,
Bogdanovic and Ingles for their 5 starters.
And they go out and beat Denver, who with Jamal Murray back, everyone's thinking they're going to be a contender again. But man,
that was crazy.
Yeah. And then the next game, we have a 2-hour window in between. So we go from the 8 o'clock Eastern start time all the way to 10 o'clock Eastern. And that is the Golden State Warriors. The Denver Nuggets at the Golden State Warriors starts at 10 p.m. Eastern. The Warriors are favored by 4.5 as a 229 over-under. The big news in this game is that both Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray are questionable. If they don't play, I don't see this game staying remotely close. I don't know that it stays close even if they do play. So this is probably not going to be one of my favorite games. I do like Wiseman and Poole coming off the bench for the Warriors, but that's a lot to do with the blowout narrative for me.
Yeah. I'm kind of staying away from this game too. I think we're on the same wavelength there. The one guy, I'm not going to get to Jokic tonight, particularly a little bit banged up. If Murray doesn't play, I think you could go to Bones Highland, who's only at 4K. So that might be something to look at. And then the only thing on, I might take a flyer on Steph Curry, because my guess is he's going to be really low owned, and he's played well against Denver in the past. So possibly, again, from, I wouldn't do it in a cash game, but from a GPP standpoint, I've been looking at it. And then Wiggins is another guy that I think has been really, playing great since he's arrived in Golden State. And I actually don't think that DFS has caught up to it still.
Yeah.
I think he's one of the, kind of underrated, even though he's, kind of been nailing it from a DFS standpoint for about, for 3 months of basketball now. So
sure. Yeah. So for the Steph Curry play, is that only if Jokic and Murray play? Like if those guys are out?
That's right. Yes, because you're right. If they're out and it's a blowout, I mean, he's going to, Kerr's already come on and said he's not going to overplay his guys. So, I think this is the perfect opportunity to kind of, play him, 29 to 30 minutes if they're not playing. But I don't know how, let's see. Where are we at on that? Are they? Well, Jokic looks like he's going to play. I think he's probable at this point. So, I think he's going to play. And if he plays, it's sort of the lineup that you had, last year. So I think they're good enough. And like I said, I think Bones is. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, they have to rest Murray. I don't see why they would. Overdo it. So I think Bones, or as a real contrarian play, you could look at Ish Smith because he's a viable point guard. And I don't know where his ownership is. Let's see if we can
I bet it's below 1%.
Super low, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm looking on DK right now. Ish Smith, 0.4%. Yes. So and on Fanduel, he's at on Fanduel, he is at 0.1%. So, and he's 3,700. So I think he's he's a proven player, and he's only 3,000 on DK. Yeah, he's min salary. So if Murray is out, I'm going to take a look at him.
That sounds good. What was I going to say? Oh, I think I have a play coming up for Boom Fantasy that I think I'm going to have to change because I was thinking that Jokic might actually be out. But if Jokic is going to play it was going to be the under on Curry's points, and I don't think I'm going to go there if Jokic plays. So
yeah, what are they targeting points wise for him?
25.5.
Yeah,
and it's kind of borderline, But if for sure Jokic and Murray were going to be out, I thought that'd be a slam dunk because I think that Curry would probably only play maybe 3 quarters. So, yeah. The last game tonight is your Phoenix Suns at the Portland Trailblazers. 5-point favorite, 223.5 over under. And you got the first dibs or whatever on the bragging rights this year with the win. That was a close game, but they pulled it out. So.
Man, that whole first half, I was like, oh, here we go. This is just going to be a painful year. Particularly they sat Chris Paul. It's like, okay, what are we going to do without Chris Paul? And I still don't know what the deal is. I was trying to get kind of some updates on it. I don't have a lot of information, but they pulled it out, which was amazing. Yeah. So I was super excited. I like a few players here. No surprise. I'm a big Cam Johnson fan. I think he's going to have a great season coming into the starting lineup. And so I'm going to be looking to play him. I won't be looking to play Damian Lee, although I love him already. Like, boy, what an addition. That was awesome. Yeah. Probably taking a look at Booker, depending on what site, but I think he's going to have a real solid game. Blazers defense is not that great.
Right.
So with the exception of maybe Josh Hart. So so looking at a couple of Suns. And on the Portland side, I'm probably not going to get to anyone on Portland tonight. I do like Jeremy Grant longer term, but not tonight.
Yeah. I like Devin Booker. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, how about you?
Oh, I like Devin Booker as well. As you mentioned about the the Portland defense. what I was going to say is the Kings. I was watching that game the other night, and Kevin Huerter was absolutely killing them. So I think that if he can do that, then Devin Booker definitely can do that. So
Exactly.
I like that matchup. And then on the other side, I like Anthony Simons. He's 5,900 on DraftKings, 5,700 on Fanduel, $24 on Yahoo. I think he's going to kind of fill into that CJ McCollum role for Portland, and he looks like he's ready to step up in a big way to me. So I like Anthony Simons tonight. So that is all 11 games. Anything else you can think of before we go over our two brains are better than one FanDuel lineup?
No, let's do it. Let's get to it.
Okay. All right. Ladies first, so you can take the first.
All right, let's see. I got to pull it up here. Okay. So I'm going to go with, but they got all these like current streaks and stuff like that going on here. All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with, let's start with Halliburton.
Okay. At point guard or shooting guard?
We'll put him at shooting guard.
Okay. And I will take, let's see here. Not going to try and chase it too much, but like you said, he's super low owned. I'm going to take John Conchar at shooting guard as well.
At shooting guard? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Or no, I can take him at small forward. I'll leave a shooting guard spot open. Let me do that.
All right, cool. Small forward. Yep. All right. Cool. I'm going to go with Brandon Ingram as the other small forward.
Okay.
I like him a lot tonight against Charlotte.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Aldama at power forward. Nice. We're going to have a lot of salary.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, let's go. Let's take some of that salary. Let's go with DeJounte Murray at point guard.
Okay. I like your Sengun call, so I'm going to go with him at center.
Nice. Okay. Let's go with Devin Booker, the other shooting guard.
All right. I'll take
lots of money left over. A good point guard or power forward, yeah. Does seem like there's a lot of money tonight.
Yeah, definitely. All right, I'm going to go with Simons at 5,700. So that leaves you 7,400 for power forward.
All right. Let's see here. Power forward. So what do we got? All right. Let's go with the question is Wiggins, Grant, or Kuzma? Kuzma probably has the most upside.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe Kuzma.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So we got DeJounte Murray, Anthony Simons at point guard, Tyrese Halliburton and Devin Booker at shooting guard, John Conchar and Brandon Ingram at small forward, Santi Aldama and Kyle Kuzma at power forward, and Alperen Sengun at center. So
I like it.
Sounds good.
How many crowns is that?
I'm thinking this might be a 4.5 crown night for me.
I like it.
For me, I'm pretty hard on the crowns. Like it doesn't come easy for me for sure. So
that is true. That is true. I don't think I've ever seen a 5, or maybe once. I've seen one.
You might see 1 or 2 a year usually from me. I don't really, hardly ever give those out. So yeah, 4.5. That's pretty high. Yeah, so then our presenting sponsor is Boom Fantasy. If you're new to Boom Fantasy, if you go over to, is it boomfantasy.com? I don't even know what their website is. I just use their app.
I use their app. Yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah, but anyway, you can look
Fantasy,
up. Exactly. Look up Boom Fantasy on the App Store or Google Play or whatever you use. And then they will 100% match your first deposit up to $100. So
Yeah.
with that being said, who is your favorite Boom Fantasy play, Deb?
All right. So, yeah, I got a couple of them here. I'm just checking on one of them real quick. You want to throw your first one out? Because I'm just checking on one of mine right now.
Yeah, I want to make sure it's still up there.
Okay.
It's DeMar DeRozan over 37.5 PRA. Do you see that on there? Because I don't see it on. I played it earlier, and I'm thinking maybe it's because I played it already. But
let me see. Gotta get to the Chicago game.
It's gonna be on the toss-ups. Toss-ups.
Yeah, where's the Washington? Here we go. So you're looking at PAR over. It is not. No.
No.
You got 20. You got him for points, rebounds, and threes.
Okay. So they
saw that you took it, and they said, "Let's take it down."
Yeah, exactly. Shoot. Okay. Yeah, I'll go with Kyle Kuzma, 28.5 PRA.
Nice. I like that one.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Gordon Hayward at 25.5 PRA.
Okay. And
he hit it last time. He had 27, and
okay.
Yeah.
And then I'll go with let's see. It takes a while to scroll through all these games.
Yeah. A lot of them.
Okay.
I'll throw mine out while you're yeah.
I'll take Rudy Gobert, 31.5 PRA.
Okay, cool. Yeah, he's good for half of that in rebounds, right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And I'm going to go with Jakob Poeltl, 13.5 points. It's pretty low points-wise, particularly with such a high-scoring game. So.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, I think that is everything. Any questions in the comments? I haven't looked in a while.
No, I've been taking a peek. Really, a couple of thoughts on who people like. King of Smacks all over Tatum tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, sorry. King of Smacks is Fade Tatum.
Fade Tatum.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Fade Tatum. I know. Like we faded them last time, and then he totally
right.
bit us.
Nathan Feudy, Wiggins, Barnes, or Banchero?
Wiggins, Barnes, or Banchero?
I would probably say Barnes.
Gotta go. Or is it Bain or Barnes? The Wiggins, Bain, or
is it
Bain?
Bain.
I think I go Wiggins tonight.
You go Wiggins? Okay.
Yeah. And we've got, if only one, Dane, Lillard or Halliburton. I'm going Halliburton tonight.
I would go Halliburton.
Yeah, I think Lillard's going to get some good D from Phoenix, and Halliburton's got some more upside. Yeah.
Valanciunas. I don't know if I'd go to him or not. I mean, it's a decent matchup against Charlotte because they don't really have great bigs, but I don't know.
They don't, but I just feel like Valanciunas, had such a great year last year without Zion. But is he gonna get as many scoring opportunities, with Zion in there?
Yeah. DeJounte Murray or Ja Morant. Oh man, I think in cash and single entry I would go with Morant, but in GPPs I like Murray.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
I'm
with you there.
I think that is everything. All right. Well,
yeah.
Good job, Deb. Enjoyed it, and we will be back. I think Coach is going to be back from flying around the universe tomorrow. It's been flying.
Yeah. Are you with him tomorrow, or is he solo?
I think Coach and I are going to be doing basketball tomorrow. So
cool.
Yeah, enjoy the weekend.
We got basketball tomorrow. We got football tomorrow night.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that. If you would want to hop on with Steve and I and do football tomorrow night.
I cannot. I unfortunately have plans.
Okay.
But
yeah,
no. But thank you. But I'll catch you guys another time, and then I'm on with Coach on Sunday for NBA. So.
Okay. Cool. All right, guys. Well, that is going to do it, guys. Hope you guys have a great night. We will be back again tomorrow, Coach and I, when we look to crush it in NBA DFS and Boom Fantasy. Thank you.